Dan Larson here at the photo booth with a bunch of stuff sent into the post office box by viewers like you. Up first, we've got... Up first, we have Phil from Austin, Texas. Phil sent in a couple of things here. First in the bag. Let's start with the bag here. We have a assortment. Is two an assortment? A selection? We have a pair of Mega Man figures here. One of these is regular Mega Man on the stand. Little diorama set. I don't know what these are from. This says Capcom 2010. And then this, I don't know, this looks like a Loyal Subjects figure, but I don't know for sure. He's got some weapons here. Seems like a Loyal Subjects figure. We can check. Hey, Loyal Subjects right on the bottom there. And that is Mega Man... I don't know what version this is. Mega Man X, Mega Man Z. I'll be honest, I didn't play any Mega Man past regular Mega Man. Mega Man 2, 3, I didn't play 1. Mega Man 2, I think, was the one that really blew up. Mega Man 3 with Fireman, Iceman, not Iceman, Fireman, Woodman, Airman, all those guys. And then I think 3 I played, and then I don't think I played anything past 3. Those are cool guys. We'll set them aside for a second here. And then we have this Morgan figure from Vampire Savior, Capcom Vampire Savior, the Lord of the Vampire. This is terrible graphic design. I don't know who did this. You're fired. Don't ever do this again. Don't stretch the type like that. Don't squish it. That is uncalled for. This is the Action Real Hero series. Feels like it might be from another market. Imported. Maybe this was something that came from like GameStop or FYE or one of those places. It is first series, all one word. This is a non-posable thing. This is like back in the McFarlane days or whatever. We've got like enough joints just to sort of alter the position a little bit. But for the most part, it's just intended to be a statue, not really an action figure. I don't even see a date on here. Yeah, no, I don't see a date or anything. Yeah, so that's it. I don't have this. I don't think I have anything Morgan related in my collection, to be honest with you. But those are cool, so thank you very much, Phil. Up next is Blackie Shepherd. He is at ArtDevil313 on Instagram. Please go check him out. Blackie is a comic book artist, illustrator, and that's going to be important in a few minutes from now. First, I want to just point out some of the stuff he sent. This is a variety of stuff. Another batch of things. Hooked me up with a Siege Megatron, which was cool because at the time it was nowhere in my area. I still don't even really think I saw regular Optimus. I never saw Bumblebee Movie Optimus. That one was... generously sent in by Hasbro, so I do have that one in my collection, and that figure is amazing. I don't even really care if I get the regular one, but I wanted to kind of see the regular one in person. The Cybertron, is that the one with the wings and stuff? That one's on the shelves now, and I'm not getting that one. I have the original one. The original one looks better. But anyway, Blackie sent in the Siege Megatron, which is super cool. I do wish he was chromed out a bit. The gray is a bit dull. I like the little, marks and stuff, the battle damage, the mud, whatever he's got all over him. And this is a great G1 Megatron. I totally dig it. I don't think it replaces Combiner Wars Megatron for me, especially with the DX9 upgrade kit. Whoa, but it is a fantastic Megatron, and I am psyched to have this one in my collection. Some other things that Blackie sent in. We've got the Mega Construx Hellboy figure. Didn't have that one, so that's neat. His face, actually, now that I'm looking at it, his face is messed up. He's got his little beard, but then I don't know. It looks like he's got a black bloody nose or something. And looking at the picture here, that is definitely not supposed to be there. But that's okay. I don't mind that. Other stuff we've got here is this I think this was 90s era mucus-based tick. So. It's the tick, yes, but it is and it's mucus, yes, but it's also a translucent figure that I did not have in my collection. There's a function here where you basically take this out. I think you're supposed to take it out. I took it out the other day when I was testing this. Anyway, you take that out. It's a little pump. Fill it with water, or in this case, I'm guessing if it makes sense that it would be slime. Fill that, and then there's a tiny little hole right on the top of his head. That you squeeze this, the mucus would come out of his head and just cover his whole body. So super gross. We've also got a couple of little airplanes here. 2 rubber jets made by Diener. No, they say Lesney on them. Huh. I don't know what the deal is with these. Lesney, Matchbox. Yeah, little rubber airplanes. This one got chomped on the front here. But I distinctly remember having some of these when I was a kid. I don't really know where they're from. If you know where those are from, please feel free to let me know down in the comments. We've also got a Feldspar, 1982, from Remco's Crystar. Great set. Translucent figures, obviously. And I have a few of these. I don't think I had Feldspar. I think I had, I've got just about almost everybody else, but I don't think I actually had a Feldspar. I'm going to have to see if I can track down some accessories for him. We've also got the translucent blue custom third-party, whatever you want to call it, rocket-firing Boba Fett. Let's get the missile out of there. This is a L slot for those that don't know. L slot just means that the lever just clicks to the side. They experimented with a couple of different kinds, L slot and J slot. This L slot was the one that I think was the one that they were actually going to go with, because the J slot had like a little bit of a hook down, and that little tab would break off, and they were afraid that kids were going to get them stuck in their guts and stuff. So the L slot was better. Ultimately, they ended up going with none of them, as you know. Yeah, this is a pretty cool piece, obviously. I can't officially add it to the Boba set because it's not actually a vintage Kenner Fett. Plus, he's got, like, gummy legs. His torso's solid. His rocket does fire. Hang on. Oh, shoot. That went farther than I expected it to. It's all the way back there in the back of the void. But hey, good news is that Blackie also included an actual vintage Kenner Fett. That is number 460 in the Boba set, so thank you very much for that. But also, I wanted to mention, obviously, I mentioned at the beginning, Blackie is a comic book artist, and what does he draw? But he worked on Dynamite Comics' Vampirella versus the Reanimator, which of course is pertinent to this channel's content. Also he worked on Pumpkinhead, if you can see that without it getting too glared up there. This is all his info here. Make sure you check him out at ArtDevil313 on Instagram. And it's written by Cullen Bunn too here. All of these awesome writer. But Blackie mentioned that while he was working on these comics, he was watching Toy Galaxy stuff, so that's really cool. We very, very much appreciate that. Please check out these books if you ever get a chance to. Vampirella versus Reanimator. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's actually another series coming out as well. So thank you very much to Blackie for all the good stuff. This next batch of stuff is... it's got a great story behind it. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to show you this thing. It's too darn tall. Hang on, let me adjust up here. Hopefully I won't completely bust the illusion. There we go. Pan up. Oh yeah, that's working. Good stuff. Great stuff. So this is the oh, you know what? Let's sit him down. He's got some points of articulation here. So oh no, those pockets aren't going to let me do this. Nope. He's got hips that don't do anything. All right, well, you've probably seen this Boba Fett. It's like 18 inches tall or 24 inches tall or something like that. His little rangefinder is busted off, but, you know, for all intents and purposes, this is actually a really good-looking Boba Fett. Proportions look good. You know, there's actually some paint details. His rocket's painted. But so here's the story. Kim from North Aurora, Illinois. I'm going to pan down, back down here. Kim from North Aurora, Illinois, got out of toy collecting and donated a bunch of stuff to, I think it was the local library, just different places to let kids have some toys. This was addressed to Flip Show Host, which big points for longtime Toy Galaxian fandom ship there. But they joined the 501st. And actually included a couple of patches here from the 501st, as well as the 501st Tusken Raider card here from the Garrison. So that is all awesome, and that is all amazing. Oh, you know what else? There's actually a... hang on. There it is. There's a Mantis Build-A-Figure head in here, which is awesome because I do still need that. We've also got... So, the collection was, you know, all kinds of Marvel Legends, Toybiz, whatever. And then when Kim was getting ready to send in the package, she realized that they still had some stuff left over that hadn't gotten donated. So we've got a Marvel Legends Mojo Wave long shot here. We've got a classic Toybiz Rogue. Hang on. We've got a still in clamshell Toybiz long shot, Toybiz Iceman, who's, I think this is the Peed in the Snow version. He has seen better days, and that's not even just the tray. Look at this thing. Ooh, there were two color variations. But this was not one of those color variations. It was clear or blue clear. This one's seen some sun damage, obviously, but this is this Gambit is classic with the clear brown, plastic brown cape, coat. And, you know, the cool thing about this is that these are the figures that are getting released right now. Well, at least this one is. And this one, actually, Iceman and Gambit both got released recently. This one as part of the actual, you know, Toybiz retro-looking styled X-Men wave. Gambit was just in the recent... who is that Build-A-Figure wave? The recent Build-A-Figure wave. I absolutely loved these figures when they came out. There was nothing else like them. Oh, yeah, he's got a kick. He's got a kick mechanism that doesn't seem to want to work here. But anyway, let's get to the story. The story of the Boba Fett is that the figure itself is actually from Australia, and it was given to her. It was flown on a plane to Star Wars Celebration and actually presented to them. And they, you know, she felt bad because they weren't collecting figures anymore. But so they wanted to pass it on to someone who was actually in, you know, still collecting, wanted Boba Fett stuff. So I'm psyched that made its way all the way to me from Australia, through Kim, through Illinois, through the 501st. What a great story for that Boba Fett figure. I'm not even care about the rangefinder. Look at this. It's even got like, I wonder if this sand and dust is from, the dirt is from Australia. I'll fix that rangefinder somehow. You can't, it's off screen here. You can't see it right now. But just knowing that thing has a provenance like that, a story like that. So awesome, Kim. Thank you very much for sending that stuff in. Next up is Jason from Hamilton, New Jersey. I'm gonna dump all this stuff out. Here, get this note out of the way. There we go. So we have a few Boba Fett pieces here, as happens, I'm sure, with everybody's mail. Can't just be mine. This is a little, these are like rubbery, kind of, probably laser cut. This is from 1997. They have lasers in 1997? Probably. Greedo, and then my main man, Boba Fett here. I don't know why I'm saying like that. It's late. It's been a long day. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little punchy right now. And then over here we've got, oh, a couple more. We've got the Stormtrooper and Darth Vader. So all four of these guys, these are cool. They feel weird, but they're pretty cool. So also over here we've got the Funko. These were blind boxed, I believe. Let me just say this, Jason, if you're watching, if you're listening, anybody that knows Jason wants to let him know. Mrs. Toy Galaxy was very excited about these. She's a very big Lord of the Rings fan, and she and I, neither of us really love Pops. I've covered this information before. We like the ones that the cold dead shark eyes work on. So anything that's like a robot or a dead shark or a tornado or something that doesn't matter with the eyes. Like, I just feel like those black pupils just suck all the life out of any other kind of character. We were actually at Toy Fair in February, and she absolutely fell in love with this design of figures, and she already loves Lord of the Rings. So she was like, I need that whole set. That's not what she sounds like. But yeah, we got to track down like the rest of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. We have to catch some of these out in the wild. There's still quite a few more we need to get. But super awesome. Thank you very much for sending those in. And this guy's translucent, so we both like him. More importantly here, Jason had actually attended New Jersey Collectors Con, which I have been to twice before. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend this particular time that Jason was there. And he happened to win one of the door prizes, which congratulations to him, but also congratulations to me, because he didn't really know what the deal was with the prize that he won. So he didn't really want to hang on to it, so he decided to send it along to me. So what this is Marauder Task Force. Their most recent Kickstarter that completed was for covert ops and exosuits and dogs. So here you've got just two of the sort of regular military soldiers, right? And then there's all kinds of different armor and hats and helmets and elbow pads and all kinds of things. That's really cool. But the real thrill for me, and I donated to this Kickstarter. I supported it. I went for just the regular German Shepherd dog. So I am super duper psyched that Jason not only sent this, and not only did he win this, not only did he send it in, but this was the sort of more, wolfish looking dog. And these things are super articulated. They're G.I. Joe scale, 4-inch scale. They are fantastically sculpted, rendered, painted, articulated. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I shouldn't be mistaken, all this stuff is available for sale on their website right now. I think there's like 5 or 6 different versions of the dog. And he's got all his own little gear here, different kind of pouches and battle gear and leashes. And he's got, there's like a cannon you can mount on his back. And he even comes with 2 different heads. This is regular sort of docile head. But then you've also got like mean, angry eyes, growly head. I absolutely love this, and I was absolutely thrilled to open this up and see those figures in there. I have a pretty good collection of Marauder Task Force stuff already. The real genius behind it is not just the interchangeability of all the parts and stuff. Like, look at this helmet. It's got so much... You can't see anything there. But there's all kinds of little goggles and bits and attachments for the helmets. There's all these ports and pockets and snaps and stuff, like the body armor here has all kinds of like holes on it to all different. You can customize the pouches, the armor, all that stuff. So you can go to their website and order a la carte. So anyway, go there, check it out. Marauder Task Force. This is awesome stuff. And thank you, Jason, for sending in not only the Lord of the Rings stuff, which Mrs. Toy Galaxy digs a lot, but this dog, which I am super excited about. And I got to go get the other kinds of dogs that I haven't picked up yet. Thanks, man. Next up is John from Bay City, Michigan. John, who's contributed a few times to the Dan and the Photo Booth P.O. Box segments here. John sent in this. This is a Loyal Subjects Horror Collector Pack. This is the blind box version, so you do not know who you're getting. This was Baghead Jason Voorhees. I don't know what we call him. Sackhead. I have... I think I have clean Jason. I don't really collect horror stuff, but producer Greg is a big horror nut. Yeah, I think I've got clean Jason. I almost bought Freddy the other day. But this is cool. The iconic... Is it iconic? It's iconic. Sackhead Jason. I'm going to open this up right now, if I can. Here we go. This is riveting. I can't get it open. More importantly, I'm giving it screen time that I just don't need to give. More importantly, John sent in just one of the craziest things that has been sent in thus far. The vintage Return of the Jedi Jabba the Hutt throne room action scene. It's a snap model kit. From MPC. I mean, first off, this box art is just gorgeous. You can hear everything falling around on the inside there. My main man sitting up here, right here, getting ready to tip his cap at some ladies. So inside, obviously, none of this is painted. There's a whole assortment of figures here. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna get this thing taken care of, assembled. Yeah, it's I mean, it's a model kit basically. It's not a game, It's just, here it is. You got a whole Jabba's dungeon scene. I don't know where this goes. Over here probably. Oh yeah, this goes here. Jabba's throne is going to sit up here. This would be the Rancor pit if there was one. This is going to go back here, I guess. And then, yeah, there's a bunch of... All right, where does this go? This goes back here. Maybe Hasbro will be watching this and get some ideas about how to put a Black Series throne room together. So this... unfortunately colored piece of plastic here. Jabba, he's got a couple of pegs sitting back there. I mean, the whole gang is here. You've got Max Rebo, and I don't remember this guy's name. You got this guy from out front, whatever his name is. This is obviously pre special edition. So you've got Cy Snoodles, just nice Cy Snoodles. Oh, look at this yak faces here. Holy yak face. I don't know if you can see any of these, the detail. But you've got dancers and elephant men, and this this is Boba Fett, which I'm gonna have to follow me on Instagram at toygalaxy. Here's Boba Fett and Han and Carbonite. Looks like maybe a little bit of work started to be done there. But this is, I mean, if I didn't know this was Boba Fett, I wouldn't know this was Boba Fett. Fortunately, John had taken the time to specially wrap it and marked it Lil Boba, so I appreciate that. This, I don't know if this was pre-painted or if somebody started to give Squid Head some treatment here. But yeah, I'm going to post pictures of all these things on Instagram, so make sure you check it out there. I'll be able to show you much, much better detail. Look at this tiny little, I'm going to put it on my pinky if it'll actually sit. This tiny little, I just took it out of focus. Hang on. All right, well, this tiny little salacious crumb is just like, that thing's gonna get thrown out. You're not even gonna realize it's part of the thing. Anyway, this is a gorgeous thing. I may have to pass this off to my buddy Rich. He painted both the Dark Crystal figures, not Dark Crystal, Labyrinth. He painted some Labyrinth figures for Mrs. Toy Galaxy, and he painted an incredible Dengar miniature for me, so I may have to pass all this stuff off to him and see if he can work his magic on this stuff, which barely has any detail, but he's really good, and hopefully he'll be able to take care of it. We'll see. Thanks, John, for sending this in. Next up is Matt from Berkshire, Great Britain. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I hope I'm saying it right. This is just a special batch of things here. Matt, longtime viewer of the show, big fan. His words, not mine. Being from Great Britain, over there they had Action Force instead of G.I. Joe, knows I'm a fan. I probably mentioned at some point that I didn't actually have any of these figures, but he had a couple of duplicates that he actually wanted to send along, and so he did. So what we have here is a... And I honestly, I have only seen these figures in person once or twice before, so this is a real treat for me. We've got 3 blister cards here. 7 Force Radio Operator, Minesweeper, Dragamine, Space Force Battle Gear. It's an unpunched card right here. And then on the other side, we have the awesome checklist style. They just don't make stuff like this anymore. And I really wish that they did, mainly just because I want to know what else is out there when I buy a figure, regardless of what I can access online. But Action Force has always been a weird sort of mix of almost like Fisher-Price Adventure People style figures, and then of course G.I. Joe. So what we have here is, this is Skip Sky, hang on, he included a note that details everything here, and I didn't do my homework properly. Who's who and what's what. We've got... Oh, okay, we got... this is Z-Force Captain, codenamed Skip. Repaint of Wave 1 figure, Royal Marine, 2 Force figure. Okay, so he's got... so yeah, this is a pretty basic figure. You know, 5 POA, neck, 2 hips, 2 shoulders. And I don't know if this is his... I don't know if this is his gun, but there was a gun included here, as well as this Destro-style pistol. So that's one. We also have Sky Raider and his hat. And just the design on these is really, really just, it's so unique compared to the figures that were in the US, whether it be the Adventure People Fisher-Price stuff, like this is a bit more detailed than that, or G.I. Joe, you know, a little more simpler. So Star Wars, basically these are like Star Wars quality, but a little more, you know, posed. I don't want to say more action, but just so unique. Just things that we didn't have in the US. Things that I didn't even know Action Force was a thing until decades after it was already gone. This kind of Action Force, like I knew about, you know, Action Man. I knew about the 12-inch stuff. I did not know anything about the 3 3/4. And the first time I saw it, it absolutely blew my mind. And I am honored to add this piece to my collection. A red laser trooper, obviously. The Cobra Commander body painted red and black with just an amazing skull and crossbones symbol here on the forehead. A fantastic piece. I'm going to guess that this is probably his gun. That makes a little more sense to me. I don't want to jam it into his hand. I'd be afraid to break his thumbs off. I'm glad enough just to have it. So it's neat. You know, obviously I've had this Cobra Commander, just regular Cobra Commander figure before, but to see it painted like this, you know, it's legendary to me now. You know, these are the kinds of figures that I've only seen in cases. I've only seen at shows or at toy stores and stuff like that, or in somebody else's collection. So it is very, very neat to see this, to see it in person, to have it actually in my collection and be able to, you know, go over these things the way I would have, you know, for G.I. Joe stuff back in the day. And to, you know, I don't have a nostalgic connection to this. I can't reminisce about all the times I spent with it, but I can sort of retroactively reminisce and create, you know, some of those, like, you know, I can see where this would have fit in. And man, this is a tight O-ring. I could see where this would have fit in to the sort of play pattern and the adventures with all the Joes and the Joe crew and all this other stuff here that, you know, I don't know that I'm ever going to get the whole collection, but there are certainly pieces that I'm going to want to check out. I'm always down for some divers. There's divers all over this thing. I'm going to need all of these Red Shadows guys over here. And then, who's that? Where's that? This guy, number 3, Muton. I need that guy. And then, who's the lizard guy? There's some lizard guy. Kraken, something like that. Definitely going to need to get that dude at some point. So anyway, Matt, thank you very, very much for sending that stuff out. And for the follow-up note, he initially forgot to include the note. I guess I didn't need to say that and write him out like that. But thank you for sending that stuff. Thank you for allowing me to be the caretaker of these items going forward, to add them to my collection, and to get a sense for this line of figures. Thanks again to Phil, Blackie, Kim, Jason, John, and Matt. Thank you for watching this and all of our videos. Hit like, hit subscribe. Check out our Patreon if you're in the position to help the channel grow. Hey, Lupin, how's it going? Thanks again. Later.